you mentioned feeling like you didn't want to be alive. And I think that part of the isolation of that, um, and which pushed you to do the work, that is the reaction you chose to that feeling. And it's a tough thing because it just popped in my head. If one has not felt that feeling of not wanting to be alive, it's impossible to understand. It's impossible to comprehend why a person would not want to be alive. And it's nothing about anyone else but our own suffering. And so I feel like that does also relate back to your mom, because she was suffering a disruption in her schedule, right? Your dad had to travel away. And then you come in. How beautiful that you were not armored. That's not the right thing. There was no barrier. If anything, you were vulnerable and open in a way that you would never have been able to do before.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, no, I can't really go home actually, but I could go upstairs and watch her from upstairs. I understood that my presence was actually an irritant to her. My dad didn't have to travel. He was in the hospital having surgery, right? And so
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
it's no, it's okay. So this is the book that I wrote in the end. It's called The Sundown of Life. And this is a drawing of my parents from a picture that one of my daughters, who's an artist,
I
created this
love
cover.
that.
And I'll read the subtitle to you because it's in small print. So it's Overcoming the Challenges and Reaping the Rewards, emphasis on rewards, of caring for my parents during their final years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a personal story, but I've had it. This book is still pretty confidential. I mean, I haven't done the greatest job marketing it. But
Well, I've read it and it's lovely.
the people who have read it have given me really, really a lot of feedback that it touched them, and that, I've had at least two different people who have told me that it changed their relationship to their parents who had been deceased multiple years.
Oh,
So that they
interesting.
somehow reinterpret, through my description of my, of also my reality being in the face of that. So it's both,
Mm-hmm.
factual about what can happen in the end of life when it's really unkind, and unrelenting.
Well, and that's
Um,
a gorgeous thing that you were able to help them see a different facet of the experience, which allowed them to choose a different reaction, the next time that their thoughts of their parent comes up. And I feel like being able to expand our perception into what the other side is thinking, other side, not adversarially, but the other person, right? Um, that can be really tough when you've got some grit in that grist mill there.